It was my first privilege that I had to come to Slavic Missionary Bible School in Jacksonville, Florida. And I had a privilege of teaching Defending the Christian Worldview class. And I had a great experience here. Some great enthusiastic students coming from all over the country. I saw that they have a spirit of wanting to serve people. This was a unique group of students. I had a privilege of being some other colleges and churches, and I found that this group of students, they have a heart for the lost people. They have a heart to serve. They have a heart to give of themselves. As I interacted with the students on a number of occasions, I found that their goal is to spread the gospel. Their goal is to go to places where most people would not dare to go. Places where they may not have as much comfort, places where they may have to sacrifice something, but they're willing to go. And I think that's very, very unique. And the students coming here to this college, giving up 5-6 months of their time and in the classroom, and then later on going on a mission field, it shows that they're very committed. They're very committed. These are individuals that God is raising up in our generation that are going to be changing. That are going to be changing not only our nation, but that are going to be changing nations all around the world. And this is a seed that is being planted, that is going to grow, that is going to develop. It's a stream that is growing and growing, and that's going to spread it into many parts of the world. And it's fascinating to see. I've noticed that these students are ready to be tested to their limits. The rigorous program that they go through, teaching them how to see God through prayer, how to see God through reading the Word of God, and the rigorous coursework prepares them for tackling some of the most diverse and difficult things in this world. And in the example of this class, Defending the Christian Worldview, I was trying to give the students an opportunity to see the 6 prominent worldviews we have in our society, and how the Christian worldview is far more superior than any other worldview. So we look at the New Age, we look at Islam, we look at secular humanism, and we wanted to see in what ways is the Christian worldview by far better, more practical in our lives, and what makes sense. And yeah, it was a great opportunity. You may be asking, why to go to Bible school? Well, there are a number of reasons. I believe that in order for us to be effective in our ministry, in order for us to be effective in missions, we need to be equipped. We need to be equipped so we know how to reach to the people that we're going to be ministering to. I'd like to give an example of what it means to be equipped as a Christian to present the gospel. Those that are familiar with carpentry, let's say that there's a young man, Billy. He decides to go into carpentry. So he goes to the store, he buys a hammer, he buys a meter stick, he buys a saw, and a bunch of other things that would be necessary for him to do carpentry. But let's say there's a young man, Mike, he decides to invest into tools in order to do the same type of work. And he goes and purchases an electric saw, he purchases a nail gun, he purchases some other tools that would allow him to do the work more efficiently. The goal is, again, to do the work more efficiently. So both Bill and Mike, they begin their job. Both working on the same house, one working on one side of the house, other person working on the other side. In 1 hour's worth of time, who's going to achieve more work? Who's going to be more productive? And who's going to get more done? Of course, Mike, because he invested more in the tools than Billy did. Much more. While Billy's still cutting the first 2x4, Mike may be putting up the siding. Mike could be putting up the frame, and so on. So as Christians, in order for us to be effective in our work, we need to be equipped. So as a young man or woman, if you're considering of going to Bible school, it is important to consider doing it without hesitation, because you need to be equipped. You need to learn as a young man or woman how others have done missions before, what ministry is like, so we don't make mistakes that others have made in their past. If we start from where others have ended, we are going to be going further rather than reinventing the wheel or starting from the same place others have started a generation ago. So I'm going to really encourage you to consider going to Bible school, being equipped in the Word of God, and be sent off to preach the good news. Do you remember last time when a missionary came to your church and shared their experience in some other country? Did your heart burn? Did you think, man, I wish I was him. I wish I was her. I wish I was there. I wish. But wishes do not come true unless you make a decision. Your heart could be burning right now saying, oh, how I want to serve God, how I want to do this and that. But unless you make a decision to make a difference, you're going to be in the same place. You're going to be in the same place. So I want to encourage you as a young man or woman, if you feel God is calling you to ministry, to missions, or even just being a businessman or businesswoman, going into medicine, going into some other area of study, biology perhaps, psychology, politics, we need Christians that are going to make it, they're going to bring the gospel, the good news in every area of our society. We need Christians that are going to be equipped enough to do this. And if you feel God is placing a burden, like a warmth inside saying, I wish I could have done that, you can make a difference. And a Bible college gives you an opportunity to do this. And if you feel this is something you've experienced in your life, make a step. Make a step. Make a step of faith and give that 6 months to the missionary Bible school and see what God can do. I guarantee you, as I've spoke with a number of students, you will not be complacent. You will not be complacent. You will not be mediocre. What you were in the past, when you go back to your church, when you go back to your own hometown, you'll notice that God would have planted by that time a seed that's going to grow, and you're going to do some amazing things for His kingdom and for His glory. I think the church, the pastors, and the parents play a vital role in pushing their children, their young members to go to Bible school. I think it's one of the most important roles. You see, a young man or woman growing up in American society or elsewhere around the world today, they're exposed to so many ideas, so many things, and they're trying to understand what is God's purpose for my life. They're trying to understand what is my calling. And I believe as leaders in the church, as a family, you can be a positive influence. You can help the young man or woman understand what God is calling them to. And one of the ways is supporting them to go to Bible school. And whether it's financially, helping them make it happen, it may cost more than some families can afford. Whether it's prayerfully supporting them with your prayers, praying for them on a regular basis, or just supporting them emotionally and in their decision, and just saying, you can do it, you can make this happen. And then this builds up a vision for these young men and women, for them to go to Bible school, complete the studies, and then the Lord sending them off to places they've never dreamed of, making a difference in people's lives. And again, I want to encourage our pastors, our church leaders, youth leaders, encourage young women, encourage young men to go forward and get the education and to serve the Lord at even greater extents, for the harvest is great and few are the laborers. And we can become those that are helping the laborers be equipped to save lives. May the Lord bless you. Thank you.